So the next one is inheritance. So inheritance in the programming language, if you have to talk about, or in the object-oriented programming language, if you are going to say inheritance, inheritance is acquiring the properties, or you say functionalities. Anything is okay. From parent to parent into child, parent by child. So there will be something called child, and child is going to acquire the properties or the functionalities from the parent. So generally in a real human life, what is going to happen? Father and child. So any property that belongs to father, at the end, that property can be, at any time, that property can be accessed by the child. Suppose if a father has 2 children, then the property that is available with father can be accessed by 2 of the children, right? So that's what one parent can have n number of children in the real life, right? Now only talk about the male succession. Okay, now one child will have only one parent, not multiple. That is impossible, right? Programming language is also the same way restricted. Okay, but we can violate that in the programming because we can design the way we want. But by default, at the very beginning, it has been designed the same way. So in the programming language, everything we define as a program. That is here class, right? So a class here, whenever you are going to define a class, you define a class, and this under this class, let's say class A, and there will be some of the functional units. And here you're going to define some other class called class B, and specifically class B, you are going to say that it extends. The keyword is, see, extends means inherits. Okay, see, if you are designing your own programming language, you can have any keyword. You can say inherit, you can say extend, you can say derives. All these 3 terminology is same, meaning is same. The terminology may be different. Deriving from a class, extending from a class, or inheriting from a class. All of these three different words, but ultimate the meaning is same. So class B extends class A, let's say. Now here you are going to write something in the class B. So now here class B is child class of class A. Class B is child class of class A. That is the concept of inheritance. But now, okay, inheritance is there, that's okay. But what is the purpose of inheritance? Why we need to go with inheritance in the programming? See, ultimately, without inheritance, the programming language can survive. There's no problem. Okay, it can survive without inheritance. If I don't want to go ahead with inheritance, I wanted to do everything by creating only one class, everything will be possible. But why this concept of inheritance has been introduced into the programming languages, which is there in the object-oriented programming language? What is the reason why we need to have inheritance? Why we need to define these many classes? See, I wanted to perform a task. Okay, let's say for example, so I wanted to go ahead and create one application for loan processing. Okay, when you are creating an application for loan processing, what is the input for the loan processing? You collect the data from the customer. That is one input. And next, internally, what will happen? Validate the data of the customer. Once you validate, everything is fine. Let's say, for example, approvals are being received. Then you are going to generate an output. What is the output? This content. Okay, okay. See if in the shout just now. Okay, now see, if I wanted to create, we already discussed every programming language that exists in this world is to perform or to do our day-to-day life tasks, out of which let's take an example of loan processing. If I want a loan, I will go to a bank and I am going to submit the documents to the people who are there at the bank, and after I submit, they are going to manually verify everything. I'm talking about the olden days. right? They are going to verify manually. They are going to tick mark, and the file will be, this papers will be processed further. Once they find everything, they will call you one day, sir, your loan is approved, you take this money and sign here on the papers. This was the process previously, but now the technology is there. So when technology is there, you need not to manually go to bank and submit the documents and all. So the software applications are there. In the software application, you are going to upload the documents into software, like how you upload the photos into Facebook or any other social media sites. The same way, there will be one business application, upload your documents, then it will be processed and it will be verified by the humans in the application itself. And further, once the processing is done, the amount will get automatically credited into your account, right? So now you consider an example of loan processing. If I have to write a program for entire loan processing, so there will be n number of steps that you have to write. So there are n number of functionalities that I have to improve, that I have to implement. What are the functionalities in the loan processing? So just say what are the functionalities that you know. First, you tell me about the attributes of loan processing. Customer details, all the customer details, let's say personal details, one thing, and comma, when I say customer details, first name, last name, date of birth, and all of this. Second, customer earnings data, I mean like income details, right? Income details, including what is the tax that he is paying, what is the amount of money that he is earning per month, what is the average money that is still residing in the respective accounts and all. Okay, maybe CIBIL score and all also will come into picture. Okay, now this will be processed like this. You submit all the documents, required documents, even address proofs, everything you submit. After you submit all of these, there will be some functionalities that gets executed. What are the functionalities that gets executed? Now you can tell me, what is that? Different functional components to be executed to take it forward. See, attributes are defined and you supply the values to the attributes. After you supply the values to the attributes, it should be taken forward by the execution, right? So there should be some functional components. What are the functional components? Loan processing, what will be there in the loan processing? The first thing is verification method will get executed. Verification. So your documents will be verified and your salary details will be verified, and again further maybe address details also gets verified. All are been verified. This function has written like a success response is there. Return value is success from this. Verification is done. Then there will be approvals functionality. Approvals will be done. Once approvals are going to be completed, next what is going to happen? Loan is going to get disbursed. Okay, so now disbursement is going to happen. So for the disbursement, there is a specific process. There will be different teams who are going to take care of the task and they will be doing that particular task. All these are different functional components. One after other should get executed. Without verification being successful, is it necessary to execute further approvals? Approval is being rejected. Is it necessary to go to disbursement? No. So like this, one after other, all together are going to work in the encapsulation of loan processing group. Okay, so now this is for processing. Let's say for example, when I say loan processing, I did not tell you here specifically what type of loan you are going to process. I simply told core level of loan process. Now we have different types of loans, right? What are the different types of loans? Like personal loan you can take, home loan you can take, and what else we can take? Vehicle loan we can take. Not too many types. Let's go ahead and be sufficient with 2 or 3. That's fair enough. So now this is loan processing. This is a core class. This is a core class. Any type of loan you take, you need to submit your personal details. Those have to be verified. those have to be approved, and the amount is going to get disbursed, correct? Any type of loan. But now let's say here the first one, I can directly use it for personal loan. All the personal loan information also same. I want vehicle loan. Now what should I do? See, let's say here I wanted to go ahead with like this, class loan processing, and in that we have attributes and we have other things like, okay, now personal loan. Okay, if I have to take personal loan, class personal loan. So when I go with personal loan, okay, let me make it in the next one. See, personal loan comes under the category of loan only, correct? Personal loan is going to come under the category of loan only. Similarly, vehicle loan also comes under the category of this one. Now personal loan, do I need to define all the functionalities once again? So actually, what should I do? I have to write all the functionalities once again in the personal loan also. Actually, as of now, I did not tell you anything like extension keyword and all. Now let's go ahead and write the second one. Let's say vehicle loan. See, can you tell me what will be there for the vehicle loan? Class. So all of the above details which are required for the loan also required here. You need to collect the personal data of the customer, his salary details and all, address information and all. It has to be verified, it has to be approved, it has to be disbursed. But additionally, we want something. What is that? What is that we want additionally? Vehicle details. Simply saying vehicle details. Vehicle details we want, right, when we are processing. That is additional to what we have in the regular loan processing, right? So vehicle details you take as an attribute. Further, vehicle inspection has to be done. So you have to see what is this vehicle and how many years it's been purchased. Okay, like, yeah, vehicle inspection, that is one functionality. And what else we want? Model INE, those are attributes in the inspection process. Any verify previous claims. This is not insurance, I'm sorry. This is not. Vehicle inspection is fair enough to find out the fair value. That is fair enough. This is additional to what we have at the above level, correct? Next, if you go ahead with another one, class, what is that? Home loan. Now, if you're going to go with home loan, you need all the data what you have at the normal loan processing. Plus, additionally, what do we need? Home or house details, or you say simply property details. And here, property inspection to be done or not? To be done by some teams. Okay, manual or maybe automatic, that's whatever it is. But actually, what do you need is all these attributes and functionalities you want here. You should have here, and all these attributes and functionalities you should also have to here plus additional, and similarly all the other attributes and all. So you should have here also at the home loan. But instead of defining, how many places we have defined all this? 3 or 4. In future, if you are adding more different types of loans, again and again you have to define it, right? So instead of doing like this, what am I going to do? So here, while defining these classes, class personal loan extends what? Loan processing. Extends loan processing. And now class vehicle loan extends loan processing, and class home loan extends loan processing. What is the advantage of extension? I already told you. See, if you are going to define parent and child relationship is there, children can access everything that is there at the parent. Directly they can access. Okay, now without recreating the core loan processing attributes, redefining, the functionalities and attributes of the core loan processing, we can make use of it from the parent. That is the advantage. So look at here now. So here is a class. What is this class? Class loan processing. In this class, you have these attributes. I'm sorry. You have these attributes. It's coming like this. Why? I don't know. I want it like a text. ఏమైంది బోర్ కొడుతుంది ఏంటి నేను ఇక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నా అన్ని చూస్తూ ఉంటానండి okay I will increase this okay because next time I need not to type this much. And class loan processing, this is the class. So where I have defined everything. Now we have child classes. What are the child classes? Personal loan. So here class personal loan extends loan processing. Next class vehicle loan extends loan processing, and here class home loan extends loan processing. This is what we have defined. Now this extension means a relation of parent and child that defines, right? How you define diagrammatically? Just by a line, right? This is deriving from the above one, correct? And this is deriving from the above one. Arrow mark correct enough, or we give it reverse? If you don't give arrow mark, that makes sense still. Just like framework implementation. Shuddha. Okay, no problem. See here, what is that? Vehicle loan, personal loan, and home loan. See, personal loan, if I wanted to process, definitely I need loan processing attributes. So directly this loan processing attributes can be directly accessed. All of these loan processing attributes can be directly accessed here. So this class can directly access all loan processing attributes and functional components, right? Same way this particular class also can do that, this class also. So if you want something additional, what you do? So here you define again, here you want an attribute, right? What is the attribute? Vehicle details and vehicle inspection, right? Similarly, so here the attributes are property details and property inspection. Okay, maybe it is a new construction or the existing function, whatever it is, the inspection will go on in different branches, right? So this is how. See, you need not to recreate the things again and again, and you can use it from parent into child. This is called as reusability. What is that? Reusability. So in the real world business, what is the advantage of this reusability? what will happen to the actual business when you're going to achieve this? See, the inheritance. Advantages of inheritance. What are the advantages of inheritance? First one, what are the advantages? I'm sorry, I'm writing somewhere else. What are the advantages of inheritance? First one, reusability. Means we can, not we, I'm sorry, child classes can access the attributes and methods, functionalities, we call it as methods. Functional components, we call it methods. Child classes can access attributes and methods of parent class. That eliminates need of redefining at the child classes. Okay, maybe additionally you have something, you can go ahead and redefine it. Okay, so now reusability. What else are the advantages? Reusability is one thing, and what is being removed? Elimination of redundancy. Redundant tasks. Elimination of redundancy with respect to design point of view. You need not to redundantly do the same again and again. If you don't have parent and child relationship, what you have to do? Whatever the loan processing core components, you have to define it home loan, you have to define it personal loan, you have to define it property loan. Additional to that, something specific you are going to define. So the same thing here, elimination of redundant tasks. So need not to rewrite the same code again and again at descendant classes, at child classes. Child classes are descendant classes, same, meaningfully same. There are next, what else is the advantage? Okay, let me tell you an example. Okay, what else is an advantage in the real world? You will understand now further. I told you already this example to some of the people. See, imagine yourself, if you are going to start a restaurant. You have started a restaurant in Hyderabad, Sujana Forum Mall. Okay, you had set up your restaurant. See, while the business is going on, you find out so many issues with your restaurant. You fix all the issues to streamline the process. Okay, now what is happening is, it took almost 1 year to settle down with that restaurant. After that, it is running pretty much fine and smooth. Everything, business is going on smooth. Okay, now you wanted to set up a new restaurant. From you are going to set up a new restaurant now. So you are going to set up a new restaurant, maybe at a different place, somewhere else. So do you have to struggle the same way how you have struggled while you had set up the first branch of the restaurant? No need. See, now for the first time when you are trying to do it, for the design of the restaurant, the interior and the exterior of the restaurant, you might have spent a lot of time. You might have redesigned it multiple times, right? And also to implement some of the business strategies, you might have added one strategy and removed it. You might have added another strategy and scrapped it, and one more strategy, like that. Finally, after 1 year, you have some good strategies in place to run your business pretty much smooth. Now the second time when you are establishing a new restaurant, I mean, like for the same one, a new branch somewhere else, do you need to struggle the same way? Whatever that you have now at your first restaurant, the interior design, exterior design, and the strategies what you have implemented, everything the same as it is, you will apply here also, with little bit of changes as per the circumstances. Correct? Your task is being now easy, right? So your business extension, while you are doing your business extension, it has become very easy for you when you have an existing model, right? So that is by advantage of inheritance, ease of extension, ease of, you say in the real world it is expansion, right? You are expanding your business. So here you are extending the classes, right? Ease of extension. So that is, these are the advantages of inheritance. So everyone understand, it's not about, whenever someone is going to ask you what is inheritance, inheritance is acquiring the properties of parent class into child class. That is just a definition. A definition, if you are going to deliver, that says that only you read and you remember that, that's it. But reading and remembering doesn't give you any subject knowledge. So you need to understand it in the real world. Why inheritance is there? What is the reason we want inheritance? What is the reason we need inheritance? In order not to redefine everything the same again and again, and in order to reuse. If you're not redefining, definitely you might be reusing it. Define at one place and reuse it the multiple places. Let me write down in that way. Define at one place and reuse at multiple places. That is definitely by parent and child only. Without that, it is not possible. One place doesn't mean that it is separately. Okay, there should be inheritance relation. So that's how you define at one place and access it at multiple different places in a parent and child relation. So ease of extension of business. So how it is easy to extend the business? We apply the same attributes and functionalities, or we use, that is what the above one also, while the expansion of business. This is also same case. Loan processing, you have personal loan processing, you have vehicle loan processing, and you have home loan processing. Tomorrow I wanted to process the loan for, say, a different loan. What is the other loan that is existing? Education loan. I wanted to process loan for education. Do I need to do the everything from the scratch? No, I already have loan processing, so I will inherit my education loan. I expand my business connecting to the core business. Then I can utilize everything from the core business and expand it. Specific things you can define at the education loan. Understand, everyone? This is what the concept of inheritance, and mainly the reason why inheritance exists in the programming language. How we do in our day-to-day real life to make the things easier. The same way we have to do in the application, I mean like the programming languages also. That's why they have introduced a concept called inheritance, that is from the real human life only. Even encapsulation also from real human life only. Okay, everything about object-oriented programming language is from the real human life and day-to-day tasks. That's it, nothing new. Entire programming languages that exist in the world, object-oriented programming languages, are human life only. There is nothing new. So the next one is types of inheritance. So I'll talk about these types of inheritance after some time, but let's go ahead with attributes and methods. I'll take it at the end because I don't want to extend this inheritance concept now. I'll take it later. Now, attributes and methods. I have already